Ladies and gentlemen, my dog Hank just built the best possible gaming PC ever made in 2025 for $1,000, and I challenge you to repeat it because I guarantee you won't be able to.
Bruh.
We got some absolutely stunning deals on this thing. If you haven't seen the full video, link is down below, but we are here for one thing, baby, to benchmark it. And since it's 2025 and we are a full-grown adult, we are benchmarking this bad girl in 4K today. It has an RTX 5070 with a Ryzen 5 7500F and 32 gigabytes of RAM, and this thing pairs greatly. Now, I know this is a 1440p graphics card, but we built a similar computer last week and did all the benchmarks at 1440p, so check that out down below if you're interested. But mate, this is a $550 MSRP card, so you should be able to play this thing on 4K, right? Well, we are about to find out. If you want to see a professional benchmark this card, I'll link it down below, mate, because this is literally just an excuse for me to play games and scream like a little girl. We are starting with the one game you can run on a potato, Fortnite, baby. Can we get a win? We got one last week with the 5070 at 1440p, so can we make it 2 weeks in a row, this time at 4K? The graphics are set to DirectX 12, but what the pros call performance mode, mate. So everything's set to low, but epic view distance. And to get the best possible performance, we have the DLSS set to performance as well, baby. And right out the gate, this thing is absolutely crushing 4K. The GPU is running at 90 to 100%, CPU at 60 to 80%, and the temperatures are around 65 to 70, so not too shabby, mate. And we are getting an average of 242 FPS with 1% lows of 197. So this thing is an absolute beast for 4K Fortnite, baby. You can see we are no longer running the default skin. After our win last week, we got given this. I don't know what it is, but mate, it looks tough and I'll take it. Time to see if we can get this win, and this mermaid comes straight out of the water and almost eliminates us right off the bat. Thankfully, we picked up this weird cape, so we turn into a raven and fly off into the sunset like the little pussycat that we are, mate. We live to fight another day. You gotta fight smart, not hard. Because we are so low on armor and health, we enlist the help of this green robot dude for $800. Hell of a deal. Then after that, we finally find some help. Our friend senses somebody trying to sneak up on us, but mate, we ain't no default skin anymore. We don't miss a shot and we send him straight to heaven. We fast forward and jump out of our Lambo in front of this restaurant, and we see a man enjoying a succulent Chinese meal. I guess our invite got lost in the mail, so I instead mail him to Valhalla. Get out of my lobby, mate. This guy has a crown and also a purple spire rifle. Yes, come over here, mate. We've got this game won, and we are now 5 eliminations deep. As we're picking the crown up, we take some shots from behind. Pause. And then we heal up, get some shots on him and run over, and it's Mr. Incredible, mate. Incredibly eliminated. Get out of here, chump. We run around for like 5 minutes, and then we are flying around in Raven form when we hear a person giggling down here, so we run up on them, put the gun up on them, and then boom, baby. Never stood a chance. Later, we are running up this hill when we see a woman going for the world long jump record. She jumps off, and we almost finish her, but then she gets into her Lambo, but mate, there is no escaping the weenie man. She tries to run, but does her best Paul Walker impression, and the car explodes, and she is no more. Sorry about that, love. She has quite the loot on her, though. A gold cape and this big old barrel of health, mate. What a deal. We are now down to 4 people and 8 eliminations. When we hear someone flying around in their Lambo, we start denting it up with our alien space rifle, and they bail and we lose sight of them. So we enter Raven form to get some cover and force them over to us. We try to start shooting, but we still have the cape on, mate. We switch to our gun and then realize we have to reload, and even with all of that, they choke it hard on us, mate. The chosen one becomes the frozen one, and we escape from a close one with our 9th elimination and 2 fellas remaining. We got so lucky there. Moving right along, and we aren't hiding, mate. We are running around in Raven form, making as much noise as possible when we hear footsteps. You would think the last 2 people left in the game would be good, but we get into a battle with a straight up bot who never stood a chance, and we end them swiftly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final battle. We find them up on Makeout Mountain, hiding in their G-Wagon like Hank does when there's fireworks, and they just straight up start blasting at us. We try to destroy their car, but they jump in and try and hit us and end up running into this big old rock. Time to Raven it up onto the high ground, Obi-Wan Kenobi style. We destroy their car, but they come out scot-free and they are still alive, mate, and they try to Raven up on us. Nah, mate, how about I reverse draw for you and Raven myself back behind this rock to get some cover? We pull out our gold long-range weapon and hit 3 beautiful shots on them, and I know it's just a formality now. We pull out the alien rifle and start unloading, and before you know it, they are going to join Harambe on the cloud in the sky, and for the 2nd week in a row, we take an RTX 5070 to victory in Fortnite, this time running at 240 FPS and 4K. Unbelievable stuff. We are over 30 years old, celebrating a Fortnite victory on a Friday night. We are truly wasting our life, ladies and gentlemen, but we are on cloud 9. Alright, Sheilas and fellas, let's take a deep breath and step into Marvel Rivals. Yes, we are going 4K, mate, and for a 1440p card, this thing rocks 4K nicely. Graphics are set to high with DLSS set to native, and something terrible has happened. Someone has chose Jeff. How dare you, mate? So since we can't be Hank's doppelganger, we will have to be my doppelganger, and since I am 6'5", 225 pounds of pure muscle, we are going the Punisher, and straight away, we jump right on his turret and just start absolutely nuking people on our way to a triple elimination, and then we take aim at that pesky Wanda, and we are already onto a 5 elimination streak, mate, and we are doing all of it with an average FPS of 69 with great 1% lows. This thing is running as smooth as eggs, but if you want to crank the graphics to ultra with ray tracing on, DLSS set to ultra performance, and frame generation set to 4x, things go off the rails. 202 FPS with insanely high 1% lows. Jensen was not lying when he said the 5070 had 4090 levels of performance, even if these frames are faker than my dad's promise to return home from the milk store when I was 2 years old. Come back, daddy! Anyway, if you've been watching the footage going on in the background, we are going off right now. We finished the game with a cheeky elimination and get an incredible 26 eliminations and 12,000 damage, and we get robbed by the Jeff user, who has 29 eliminations but also 7,000 healing, mate. Believe me, I want to be mad, but Jeff is basically Hank, so you can take the MVP this time, but we are coming back for ya. Next up, Call of Duty Warzone Resurgence, and we are playing at 4K balanced with DLSS set to performance in this footage, and look at this, 134 frames per second, mate, good 1% lows, and DLSS be damned, I feel like it looked good and felt great. I know some people don't like upscaling, but what happens if we move to 4K extreme graphics with DLSS set to performance and frame generation on? And mate, at the highest settings possible, at 4K, you are getting 118 frames per second, mate. This is with a 12 gigabyte of VRAM graphics card that cost us $450, mate. Now, to be fair, COD does not feel great when you play with frame generation. I feel a lot of input delay. When I play Marvel Rivals, it feels fine, but yeah, something about COD just doesn't feel right, so we don't like to play with it. But even still, if you go watch our video from last week, this game plays much better at 1440p without upscaling required, so probably just stick to 1440p in this instance. And as you can see, mate, we are not the Australian sniper that I thought we were. Absolutely pathetic. We missed most of our shots. We managed to get one guy down, but we are so booty cheeks at this game, so it's time to move on to something we used to be the GOAT at. That's right, we have a treat for you today. I dusted off the old $20 flight stick, downloaded Flight Sim 2024 on Xbox Game Pass for the very first time. It's free on there if you own Game Pass, mate, so go and get it. And we've got Hankster at the controls, mate. What could go wrong? Now, unfortunately, we could not play this game at 4K without upscaling, mate. It was like 3 frames per second, so this is with DLSS set to performance, and it actually looks pretty good. We are, of course, taking off from Brisbane Airport, mate. This is my hometown in Australia, and we are in the Boeing 737 Max business jet with the call sign gay on the wing. We are getting a simply lovely average 47 frames per second. The 1% lows are in the 10s, but this is Flight Sim, mate. You're always going to get these lows playing this game. It is terribly optimized. Flying over my hometown, and you can see the big brown snake. It's the Brisbane River, and yes, it's actually referred to as the big brown snake, mate. Absolutely crude humor right there. And that massive stadium is called the Gabba. That's where they used to play AFL and cricket, mate. We miss living in Brisbane, but we now live in the US next to Micro Center, mate, so we are set for PC flipping forever. To finish off these benchmarks, we chucked a fat U-bolt and are about to land this thing. And what's crazy is if you play at 4K with DLSS set to quality and multi-frame gen set to 4x, you get 156 frames per second on this game. We realized after the game that we didn't record that footage, but I will show benchmarks below of a man playing 150 frames per second on the 5070 with multi-frame generation on. The game runs really smooth with multi-frame gen on, but the plane does look really grainy, so if you're looking to make ultra-realistic flight sim videos, mate, you're gonna need the 5090. And we are so rusty in this game. In Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, we used to be able to import a full flight plan from SimBrief, get on the autopilot, get on the glide slope, and land with ease, mate. We were playing a Pilot's Life Chapter 3, I think it was, and made it up to a 5-star airline, but it's been about a year, and as you can see, we suck now, but Hank landed this thing in one piece. Good job, buddy. And finally, finishing off the benchmarks, Formula 125, and of course we are Oscar Piastri, mate, future world champion, Norris can eat a fat one. We've got the game set to 4K high settings with DLSS set to performance, and look at her, mate. She's running great. Average of 76 frames per second with good 1% lows, and it plays very smoothly. We're starting from 5th place, and we run Antonelli off the road to get us up to 4th place. We currently have a series for this on our channel, Racing for Williams, so check it out after that, mate. We are racing on a hell of a sim rig. But focusing on this, we get DRS on Norris and pass him just like Oscar does in real life. Get in there, son. And then out of nowhere, he tries to punt us off just like Norris in real life. Now, unfortunately, this game isn't as realistic as the graphics are running on this 5070, mate, because Yuki Tsunoda is in second place, and in real life, he is seriously struggling for Red Bull. We pass him on the straight here to get into second place, but I hope Yuki turns it around in real life because we're a big fan of his, and now that Christian Horner is out of Red Bull, mate, that might take a bit of pressure off him. And we skip to the end, and Max Verstappen has just flied away from us, and we finish a respectable second place, so we will take a podium. But more importantly, for $1,000, we will definitely take this PC. It ran all games good at 4K. It absolutely destroys everything at 1440p as well. So if you're looking to buy it, that's probably the resolution you're looking to play at. But mate, if you're like Jensen and you love those fake frames, this card isn't bad at all at 4K. Now go and watch my Car Dealer Simulator series and get out of here, mate. Me and the weenie love ya. Goodbye.